Verona in the 16th century is often pictured as an idyllic Italian getaway, but underneath the surface, it is an ecosystem on the brink of total collapse, fractured by deep generational hatred. Two incredibly wealthy, incredibly powerful factions, the Montagues and the Capulets, are locked in a blood feud. The environmental volatility is so severe that a misplaced glance or a minor insult in the street inevitably triggers brutal, widespread violence. Into this toxic ecosystem wanders a completely unpredictable variable. A Montague named Romeo decides to put on a mask and slip behind enemy lines to crash a high society party hosted by the Capulets. There, he crosses paths with Juliet. They experience an immediate, profound physical and emotional connection. By the time they discover they belong to warring factions, the damage is already done. They are entirely invested. Curious, analytical tone. This sudden attachment introduces a highly disruptive, uncontrollable factor into a society that is already teetering on the edge of destruction. Later that night, Romeo sneaks into the Capulet garden. The famous exchange they share on the balcony is often read as pure romance, but looking closely at the context, it operates as a highly dangerous, calculated act of rebellion against the rules of their world. They both acknowledge the extreme danger of their bloodlines. Then they make a conscious choice to completely ignore them, vowing to stay together despite the crushing barrier of their family names. This diagram represents the divided city. By secretly marrying the teenagers, a friar attempts a system override, creating a fragile connection bridging these isolated clusters. Strategically, he calculates this permanent union will force the factions to reconcile, ending the violence for good. But a major question remains. Can a single, microscopic connection generate enough structural integrity to withstand the crushing weight of a society engineered for hate? The answer arrives quickly. The environment violently rejects the intrusion. A Capulet named Tybalt corners Romeo in the street, launching a barrage of insults and demanding a duel. Romeo tries to de-escalate, holding tight to his new secret alliance. But his refusal to fight confuses his own allies. His friend Mercutio steps in to defend their honor, and in the ensuing chaos, Mercutio is killed. In a fraction of a second, the pressure peaks. Blind rage overrides Romeo's commitment to the peace plan. He draws his blade, strikes back, and kills Tybalt in retaliation. The city's leadership responds immediately by banishing Romeo from Verona. This physical distance instantly tears apart the central structural pillar of the friar's entire blueprint. When deep-seated personal pride is triggered, even the most carefully constructed strategies for systemic change can be instantly obliterated. Meanwhile, the pressure on the other side of the equation skyrockets. Juliet's parents mandate that she marry another man, threatening to disown her if she refuses. Look at this timeline. The friar engineers a high-stakes bypass. Juliet will drink a potion that simulates death, skipping the red arranged marriage path, to be placed in the family tomb and extracted by Romeo at a rendezvous point. This backup strategy has one glaring vulnerability. Its success relies entirely on a perfectly timed, secure line of communication to warn Romeo that the death is staged. And here is where the system collapses. The messenger carrying the actual plan gets quarantined due to a plague outbreak. The vital signal is blocked. Instead, a corrupted data packet, a report that Juliet is genuinely dead, bypasses the filter and reaches Romeo. Operating on this completely corrupted data, Romeo believes he has lost his wife. Any complex strategy forged under extreme duress is ultimately only as resilient as its weakest communication link. Driven mad by grief, Romeo returns to the crypt. He looks at what he assumes is Juliet's lifeless body, drinks a lethal poison, and permanently ends his own life. The timing is agonizing. Mere moments later, the potion wears off. Juliet awakens expecting to be extracted, only to find her partner dead on the floor. Realizing she is trapped and truly alone, she takes her own life. When the dust settles, the rival leaders arrive at the tomb. Standing over the bodies of their children, the Montagues and Capulets are forced to physically confront the true, final cost of their warfare. The bitter irony is that the friar's plan actually works. The systemic hatred dissolves, but only because both families have completely eradicated their own futures in the process. Love is a profoundly resilient human drive, but it struggles to survive inside a corrupted ecosystem. If left unchecked, the toxic combination of personal pride, entrenched societal hatred, and flawed communication possesses the power to systematically dismantle and destroy the most beautiful things we are capable of building.